Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel today. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, I'll be making this very simple author neck crop top. If you're interested, keep on watching. So I'll start by cutting my front pattern, and my fabric is already folded into two. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and mark my points. So the first measurement I'll take is half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. I'll place my tape on the folded edge of my fabric, and then I'll mark 8 inches. This top does not have a shoulder, so I'm going to take out 4 inches. Since it's an off shoulder top and I don't want the neckline to be too deep, I'll take out 4 inches and I'll mark my round armhole circumference divided by 2, which is 9 inches. So make sure you take out whatever inches you want to take before you mark your round armhole measurement. So I'll connect the two dots into a straight line, and I'll rule a straight line across that point just like this for my armhole to sit. After doing that, I'll still take out the 4 inches and I'll start marking my point. Distance from my shoulder to my bust point is 11 inches. I'll rule a straight line across that point. Next point I'll mark is the distance from my shoulder to my top length. Okay, so remember to take out the 4 inches before marking the 4 inches, or whatever inches you want to take out before marking your top length. So my top length is going to be 22 inches. I rule a straight line across that point. What I'm going to do is to place my bust circumference divided by 4 on the chest line, just like you see me doing, and then I'll add 1.5 inches for stitching allowance. So if your fabric is stretchy, there's no need to add any allowance, but this fabric is not stretchy. And before I forget, I'm using 1 yard of fabric for this tutorial, which I did not even use everything. On the top length, I'll place my waist circumference divided by 4, and I'll also add 1.5 inches for stitching allowance. So this top does not have a dart, so there is no need to add any dart allowance. I'll go ahead and connect the dots on the chest line and the dots on the waistline into a straight line. After doing that, I'm going to place my ruler and I'll cut from my armhole to meet the center front, just like you see me doing. If you don't have a ruler, go ahead and use your free hand. The aim is to eliminate this armhole area. So after creating the curve, guys, we are done. I'm going to go ahead and cut. So just look at what I'm doing so you know where to cut. After cutting, guys, we'll be using this front pattern to cut out the back. For the back, I went ahead to fold my fabric into 2, and I'll be adding a zipper to this back pattern. The one on the thumbnail, they used loop. I don't want to use loop. I'll be adding a zipper, so I marked 2 inches as my zipper allowance, and I ruled that point into a straight line. So I'm going to bring in my front fabric and I'll place it on the back like this, removing the armhole completely. So just look at the way I placed the front on the back. Okay, so I'm just going to trace out the sides and the length, and that is all. In case you want to add a loop, just like you can see on the thumbnail, there's no need to add any zipper allowance. Just go ahead and reduce the back by 2 inches and then create your loop. And in case you don't know how to go about that, I have a very detailed tutorial on how to create loop on my channel. I'll be leaving the link in the comment section. So I'll just go ahead and cut just like you see me doing. I'll cut out the sides. After doing that, I'll go ahead and open up my zipper allowance, and then I'll notch the zipper allowance. So guys, after splitting the zipper allowance open, I'll go ahead and use a gather stitch to sew all the way down just to close it, which I'm going to open it up soon. So the next thing I'll do is to hem the neckline. So you can go ahead and cut out a facing for the neckline. I'll hem both the front and the back neckline, which I've gone ahead to do, and this is what I have for the front. Okay, so for the back also I went ahead to hem the neckline and I closed my zipper allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out a loop, that is the rope for the neckline. I went ahead to cut out a rope of 1 inch and I folded the rope and I sewed all the way around. So I'm going to place that rope on the center front. Okay, so the length of the rope is about 30 inches each, and I have 2 of the rope. So go ahead and cut out your rope, sew it and turn it inside out. So guys, to join the rope to the center front, I'm going to turn my fabric to the wrong side, and on that pointed edge there I'm going to just place the rope on it. So you can place it however you want. I'll just place the rope like this, and then I'll fold the center front in just to cover the rope, and then I'll go ahead and hold it down with my pin. After doing that, I'll fold it over like this, and I'll head over to my sewing machine and I'll stitch. So guys, I'm done stitching, and this is what it looks like on the outside and on the inside. So the next thing I'm going to do is to sew my front and my back piece together. So I'll open the front right sides facing me, and then I'll bring the back piece also right sides facing each other, and then I'll go ahead and use my stitching allowance, the stitching allowance that I left on the fabric. I'll go ahead and use it to sew on both sides of the fabric. I'm done sewing and I went ahead to turn my top inside out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open up my zipper allowance. I'll open it up like this. I'll go ahead and first of all hem the base of my top. After hemming the base, I'll go ahead and fix my zipper allowance. My zipper to the zipper allowance. I've gone ahead to do that, guys, and this is what we have. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Please don't forget to like this video. If you're not subscribed, please click on that subscribe button before you find your way out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.